Good morning. Happy September 1st. And does it ever feel like September 1st? It feels like fall. It definitely feels like September. Which I like, but it's funny how, you get that first dose of the cool mornings, the cool evenings, and you're kind of like, and it comes with this sort of a feeling of simultaneous relief and dread, because you're like, the summer's over. The summer is coming to an end. Like in the movie Grease. Okay, let's get started. I'm enjoying it, certainly, for my morning run and my morning workout. But I also am resistant to it getting much colder. So that's the other thing. So starting out nice and easy, nice easy twists, loosen up that body, loosen up that spine, those hips. Nice and gentle. I love these. I love these to start. And then going into some easy marches, but really lifting that knee. Every single one of the movements that we do in warm-up is designed just to kind of open up our body to obviously get blood flowing, but also to kind of open up the hips, create range of motion before we go into the actual task of the workout. And so I always recommend doing the warm-up, like letting it sort of kind of emerge from you, letting your body tell you when it's ready to pick up the intensity and pick up the effort. You'll know intuitively. Some days you won't be. Some days your body will be like, no, not today. And that's okay. It's important to just kind of be aware and connect to how your body's feeling each day, whether it's stiff and sore from yesterday, because I know my hamstrings and my glutes are sore, my quads are sore from yesterday, and so they need a little bit of extra TLC today in getting warmed up. Just kind of connecting to how did you sleep last night? What have you done over the last week that maybe your body is tired and fatigued, or maybe it's feeling fresh and ready to go. Maybe you feel amazing. As women, we definitely have those cycles during each month where sometimes you shock yourself and you're like, I feel amazing today, I have no idea why. And then other days you're like, I feel like garbage today and I have no idea why. But it's just important to be mindful of what does today look like, and leaning into it and embracing it, right? Accepting it, not judging, not criticizing, and recognizing, what do I need today? So, it's funny, when you do yoga, when you take a yoga class, they talk a lot about that. They talk a lot about connecting to the body, or meditation, right? Like being mindful and connecting to how does the body feel? Where are you feeling tension? Where are you feeling stress? Where are you feeling tightness, right? Where do you feel good? But in the workout world, I feel like we never talk about it, and it's equally as important. It's just as important, because you're going to stress your body in some way, shape, or form via movement, via resistance, effort, right? And so it's just as important during a workout, during a run, when you're out for a walk, to connect and be mindful of, where am I at today, and work with it, not against it. If you're headed out for like a hard run and your body feels really resistant, pull the foot off the gas okay, so on that note, we're gonna increase intensity. Usually by the end of that first circuit, I'm ready. My body's now ready. Some days, not so much. But if you're not ready, if you're just starting to move again, to exercise again, it's September 1st, which I love. I love the beginning of a new month. I love when the first falls on a Monday. It's a Wednesday. That's okay. It's still the first. So it's still a chance for a fresh start, fresh outlook, fresh perspective. Almost the feeling of a new beginning, right? We're 31 days into a 90-day challenge, and so it's not a brand new beginning, but it's a fresh start for the next 30 days. So maybe you're doing that challenge with me, the 90-day no nonsense challenge. I was talking to one of my coaching clients, and we were giggling about the no excuses, no exceptions, no nonsense. And that's just to harden our minds a little bit. It's to toughen us up a little bit mentally, because actually I wanted to talk about that today. Our mind is, or at least mine is, I don't know about, I can't speak for your mind, but my mind is almost an expert at coming up with the why nots, coming up with the excuses of why I should take it a little bit easier, or I should make that, run or workout a little bit more comfortable, right? Our mind is really well trained and intuitively wired to look for how can we make it more comfortable, how can we make it easier, and we have to become intentional about questioning those excuses, right? Like, I'll work out, early because it's cooler then, right? Or I'll do a little bit less today because I worked out yesterday. Or, I don't know, right? Every single thought is about, that passes through our head is often about, if we let it run wild on its own, our minds, is about, how can I make this easier and more comfortable, right? I'm gonna do the 90-day challenge. How can I make it easier and more comfortable? And then we come up with excuses as to why we don't have to do it that day, right? Okay, last round, higher intensity. And so the reason that it was called no exceptions, no excuses was to kind of put us in that proactive mental state of saying, no excuses. Doesn't matter that it's so-and-so's birthday. Doesn't matter that we're at a friend's house for a barbecue. Doesn't matter that we're at a going away party. No excuses. For me, it was no wine and no chips. No, there's no excuses. It's no wine. Because our minds will look for the excuses. It's what they do best. I imagine, or I've heard, the reason is because we're wired for survival. So we're always looking for, survival was looking for, I'm like losing my mind. How can I avoid danger? How can I avoid death? Right? Well, we're out of the woods when it comes to that for the most part, right? So what we're looking for is comfort and ease. So no excuses, no exceptions. It's a daily challenge is a daily challenge. 90 days is 90 days, no exceptions. No excuses. And no nonsense, no BS. Just do it, right? Just forget all the stories, forget all the reasons, forget all the, scapegoats. No excuses. So I'm proud to say that I have completed 31 days with no wine. I did have one chip. And it was in a moment where I completely forgot that I was doing what I was doing. And I mindlessly grabbed a chip from the chip bowl at a barbecue that we were at. And I went to grab more. My husband said, "What are you doing?" Because he's doing it with me. And I had meant to tell him earlier that day, make sure you remind me tonight, because I could see being, out of your environment, out of your routine, I could see me forgetting. And lo and behold, I did. So I had one chip. I have no excuses for that other than just absent-mindedness. So, but didn't let that allow me to have more, and I didn't let that throw me off the wagon and forget and stop doing it, right? I'm still doing it. So I'm on to my second chunk of 30 days, no wine. And I'm actually proud to say not only have I done no wine, I've done no alcohol. I'm not committing to no alcohol for 90 days because that wasn't my commitment. My commitment was no wine. But I am not having alcohol for the most part, right? So, hey, who's joining me this morning? I know that some of you watch and don't work out with me. That's okay. I'm happy to have you along. But who's actually working out with me today? Or who's joining me today? So we are going to do a Tabata set today. I was writing out the workout this morning thinking, I'm not sure how this could be harder than I'm thinking it's going to be, but it's okay. We're going to try. Hey, Yvonne. Yvonne is crushing her 90 days. I am so stinking proud of Yvonne. Okay. If you have a ball, you can use a ball. If not, then just do these on the ground. We're going to start with presses. Okay. We're doing upper body today. I am going up in weight. I'm going to try my heavier weight. Didn't really give myself a bailout option because all my other weights are not out here. So I'm stuck with these ones. So if you're doing these on the ball, you want the ball to be under your neck and shoulders, supporting your neck and shoulders so that your spine is in a neutral position. Again, remember, you can always send me, video yourself and send me a video if you want me to check out your form. All right, you guys ready? Back. Okay, so grabbing your weights. If you're on the ball, get ready, get into position. If you are on the ground, get ready, get into position. Okay, let's go. We're doing, oh my God. Okay, we're doing 8 sets. So the hardest part about this is getting into position. So I was talking about something. I was talking about how we are wired for comfort, wired to come up with the why nots, right? That's our automatic, I'm just staying in this position because it's too hard to get back in. Okay, ready? So make sure if you're doing these, your butt is up, you're in a tabletop position, so you want to squeeze that butt. So my new mantra, because I recognize this about myself, that I tend to look for the easy way, look for the excuses, right? Look for ways to make everything more comfortable. And I also find my immediate reaction to things is no. I don't know, is anyone else like that? Is this set 2 or 3? Because I think it's set 3. I'm already feeling these. The kettlebells kind of bruise your forearms if you're using kettlebells. That's okay. That was set 3, I think. We're doing all 8 sets like this. Okay, so 8 sets of 20, and these kettlebells are getting heavier and heavier. Since I'm not putting them down in between, maybe I will for the next set. And so I thought to myself, how can I take my watch off too? How can I rewire my brain so my automatic answer isn't always no? And so I came up with that. I heard that saying on a podcast that I'm actually going to put it on a t-shirt, and I feel like I want to put it on every mirror and window and wall in my house to see. And that saying was, compared to what? So when you think, oh, today's going to be really hard because it's hot out. Okay, these are really getting hard. What are we at? We got 2 more sets, I think. Whew. Oh my God. This is my wrists, if anything. I'm gonna try something. That's not gonna work. Okay. It's okay, we got this. 2 more sets. I'm really wishing I brought those lighter weights out. Okay, we got 1 more set of 20 seconds. It's the awkwardness, if anything. So compared to what? So it's really hot outside. Well, compared to what, right? It's hot compared to what? This is gonna be a tough workout, you guys. Compared to what? Compared to our normal ones. That's okay, because there's tougher. So we just gotta compare. Okay, that's it. Bob Proctor, one of the things Bob Proctor taught us to do, oh my God, my arms are jello already, is make the big look small. So if something is daunting or overwhelming, so for example, if you are going to go do a long run that, you know, is longer than you've done in a long time or longer than you've done ever, or you're training for something like bigger than you've ever done, you make the big look small. So you find things, I look for things people have done that basically like just squash what I'm trying to do, so that it doesn't feel so huge and overwhelming, right? Okay, I think we're using our step next. I forgot my workout plan. Where did I put it? Okay, 1 sec, I'm gonna grab it. Okay, I'm back. We're gonna do rows on the cooler next. Okay, so or the I feel like Yeti should sponsor me. All right, ready? So have your weight. We're gonna do our rows, and we're gonna alternate sides. Here we go. So remember, we don't want to drop. We want a nice flat back. Okay, slight arch in the lower back. So cocking that butt, pulling that belly button in, and not letting that shoulder drop. When you're at the bottom, you want to keep it fully engaged. So nice straight flat spine with a slight arch in the lower back, with your belly button pulled in to protect your spine and to use your core, and not letting that arm drop at the bottom, so that you're controlling the weight. You're not doing this, you're keeping that shoulder blade retracted. So I'm trying to train my mind to be more open. You know, I don't think I can train necessarily my automatic response being no. I don't know if I can train that out of my mind. But what I can do, I think, is start to train myself to take a moment after I think no. Take a moment. I can have that initial no. Just don't react. Don't respond. So think no, but then pause and think, okay, why not? Or why? Why should I do it? And if I need to, I employ the phrase compared to what? Because you're going to come up with the why nots, and they're going to be excuses, and they're going to be an effort or an attempt to keep yourself safe, keep yourself comfortable, and keep yourself from change. So compared to what can diminish or dissolve those excuses and get you to do the thing that you said no to, that maybe maybe you need to do, right? That's not to say you have to say yes to everything, of course, obviously, but, oh, I shouldn't run today, it's too hot. Too hot compared to what? Okay, that's trying to keep me comfortable, trying to keep me from, you know, suffering. Well, what I could do instead of not running is I could modify my run. I could run shorter, I could run easier, I could insert walk breaks. I could take breaks if I need to, right? But I can go start the task and modify. So that's, you know, one of the ways that I get myself to do. So funny, I was listening to a podcast this morning on my run, and they were talking about consistency, running consistency. And this is an ultra running podcast. So keeping in mind that this is in reference to people running distances in excess of a marathon. And they said, we're talking to a gentleman who said he didn't have the time. He was struggling with fitting stuff in. And they said 5-10 minute runs are valid. You know, if you can get out for a regular 5 to 10 minute runs, those count. And I thought, isn't that interesting? Because for the last, I'm almost at 1,000 days. I'm almost at 1,000 days now. My son and I are almost at 1,000 days for running every day, minimum of a mile. So the mile takes us about 10 minutes. And I would 100% agree that 10-minute run daily for almost 1,000 days now, well, it'll be 3 years in December, on December 8th, has been massively impactful. So for you, if it's walking, but we tend to dismiss those small efforts and sort of chalk them up to being not relevant, not effective. So I'll tell you what my goal is to apply that same mindset to yoga. I know I need to do some stretching and insert some yoga, and I don't really want to. I don't really like yoga. I do like it. I don't mind it. I don't hate it. But it's hard for me. Okay, we're using this as an option. Okay, so this next one's gonna suck. I'm gonna commit to maybe it'll be 3 minutes of yoga a day. I haven't decided on my start date yet. Okay, we're gonna do push-ups. So you can do any form of push-ups. We're gonna start with regular push-ups, and we're gonna alternate with push-ups with our feet on the bench. I'm gonna regret this in set 2. I already know this. Okay, so starting with regular push-ups. Keeping that head up so your gaze is forward, maybe just in front of you. I might make an executive decision partway through this, but we're going to try it. Because we can't do these from our knees. Okay. So, modification for this, doing push-ups on your knees. Yep, I'm regretting that. Okay, so we're gonna go back to regular push-ups. We're gonna switch to tricep push-ups, meaning your elbows are gonna stay in close to your body. I am modifying this one and doing it on my knees. If you're doing it on your knees, you still want a nice, straight, elongated spine and torso. Oh my gosh. And the other alternative to these is going to be plank. So if you're finding these are not doable, you can hold plank. It's going to alter the positioning of your plank or your push-up. Oh my god. Kind of popped out of that one. Okay, so the next one we're going to do V push-ups. So the hands are going to come in like this if you don't have bad wrists. If you have bad wrists, don't turn them in. I'm not sure how I'm going to lift my arms after this. This is gonna isolate, or target, I should say, not isolate, target the delts. Oh my God, was I thinking, you guys? I was thinking I was really fit for a split second there when I was making the workout this morning. Try not to drop yourself on your face. Okay, holding plank if you need to. 3, 2, 1. Oh my God. Okay, we're gonna do another set of tricep push-ups. Anyone else dying right now? So anyways, on this ultra running podcast, speaking to somebody who's wanting to train for very long distance, the coaches agreed that 5 to 10 minute run was significant, even was the word used. Like, not even, it wasn't even about survival mode. It was like, no, that counts, that adds up if you do it. So okay, just holding 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Oh my God. I told you guys I was writing these down. Oh my God. This morning thinking, should I? Okay. So that can apply to anything. Like, that can apply to working out. Like, that can apply to, you know, our Grand Slam routine that we have created inadvertently. This was a silly thing that I came up with in December actually, was trying to get myself just to do something instead of nothing. That's where it kind of stemmed from. And okay, so we're gonna need, I'm really regretting not bringing out lighter weights at this point. Okay, I'm gonna need those. I've one lighter weight, you guys, not a set. And so I came up with the 100 reps of core. So every day you do 100 reps of any combination of core exercises. Activity completed. If you do that every single day, like, that's an incredibly effective, good habit to create. Okay, so we're bent and we're rowing. And then I thought, oh, wouldn't it be fun to do a different one every month? And then I thought, let's stack them. Let's see what crazy nut is gonna sign up for that silly challenge. And inadvertently, I ended up having to participate in that. But it was really eye-opening because I've missed a day here or there. I haven't been perfect with it, but I've done most days. So tricep extensions. So make sure those elbows are hugging the head. The elbows stay in nice and tight. And I've really, again, been shocked at the effectiveness and the impact of a small thing, but doing it daily, right? And so, yeah, these workouts are great. It's awesome, transformational even, to commit to these 3 times a week. But on the other 4 days, if you're not doing anything, they're marginal. And so we can actually create enormous results and effect by doing something small daily instead of doing something big 3-4 times a week. I really believe that. Between a 1 mile run, which is 10 minutes for me, and that could just as easily be a walk if you're not a runner. So a 10-minute walk, a walk around your block, which is easy to dismiss as saying, what's the point? I'm just going to stay on my couch. I think a huge part of it is simply the discipline of making yourself do something instead of nothing. But then the Grand Slam challenge, so we started out with the core, 100 core. Then we went to squats. Then we did plank. We did jumping jacks. We did burpees. We did boat. We did, what am I missing? Push-ups. This month we're adding glute bridges. That series of small things adds up to maybe 10 minutes. I don't even think that much. I should time myself, but the timely one is the 100 core. But you know, I know how to cheat. I just do Pilates hundreds to get 100 reps without it taking too long. Whoo, straighten those elbows at the top. Try to keep those elbows pointing straight up. So if that's all you do 7 days a week is your 10-minute of walking or running and that little Grand Slam challenge, and you do that consistently every single day, your results are going to blow your mind. And not just physically, but mentally. And so I believe the coaches on this call when they say, like, because most of us won't do that. I wouldn't have at one point. I wouldn't have done that. If I wasn't going to go out for my 5, 10, 15K run, I would not run. It was like, what's the point in going out if I'm not going to do 5K or more? And that is, I think, most of our demise, is that kind of thinking. Doing a little is not enough. So then there was another quote that I heard. One of the guys said, I can't remember it. Something about being good instead of perfect, but being willing to be good instead of perfect, but also being willing to be okay instead of good. Meaning just doing the bare minimum, doing something instead of nothing. How are you guys doing? Are you jello? Okay, so we have, oh boy, we're gonna be feeling our triceps tomorrow. That I can assure you. Okay, so we're going to, probably not gonna like me on this one. We're gonna do burpees. You can do burpees slow-mo, or you can do burpees with a weight, or you can do burpees regular. So lots of options.
Activity
if you're
completed.
brand new, if you're brand new, you might want to do burpees with no jump and do them in slow motion, or you can do regular burpees, or I'm going to add a weight to my burpees today. Yay me. Okay, ready? Okay, so lifting, you want to be in a squat as you lift. Burpee. Lift. Burpee. Lift. So this is going to actually work our core nicely. So next up is tricep dips. Lord help. Okay, so you want your butt nice and close to the bench or the cooler or the step or whatever you're using, and try to keep those triceps in. So think of squeezing your triceps together, your elbows together. If you're feeling like a rock star, you can throw a weight on your legs. Not today. Okay, so lifting up, burpee, up, and again, you don't have to use a weight. This weight is gonna use There's our core. So you can straighten your legs to make these harder. I'm keeping them bent because that's just what feels appropriate right now. You want to keep your butt nice and close to the bench. If you're using a cooler, hopefully it's not going to tip on you. So the good news is we don't have to do burpees at the end of the workout today. We don't have to do push-ups at the end of the workout today. Oh. These are destroying me today, hard compared to what? Okay, I quit way too soon. I gave up on that one a little too soon. I thought the bell was going to go. Right? Heavy compared to what? Hard compared to what? Did I say that already? I have to share with you guys a win, a personal non-scale victory that I had yesterday that you might also have and not even know about it. I went for a long walk. Oh my gosh, okay, don't quit before the bell goes. Okay. I went for a long walk with my husband yesterday because my son had baseball practice, and like I'm talking, we walked for 8K. I was so proud of him and us. But when we were done, I was sitting waiting for my son to finish, and I checked my resting heart rate, and it's probably at least 8 beats lower than it was a couple months ago when I checked my resting heart rate. And that is a huge non-scale victory. And it's funny, I said to my husband, like, I knew it. I knew I was feeling really, really good. Like, I just feel like so good. And I said, this is a number, a telling number, because wow, like my heart rate hasn't been that low in a long time, you guys. So that is a way to measure your progress. That's not necessarily going to be an obvious metric, right? That you would think about, because we use the scale, we use our clothes, we use how we look, we use so many metrics that aren't necessarily going to give us the feedback that we want in as fast of a time as we want. Scope. Okay, so we're going to core. And so I wanted to share that with you because that could be a metric that you might be crushing to right now and not even know it. So there's two metrics to take a look at. One is how fast do you recover, right? So even in the warm-up, does your heart rate come down quicker? You can pay attention to things like when I go up the stairs. Okay, so we're starting with skull crushers. Look at me, I brought the heavy weight over. Okay, so skull crushers. So make sure your lower back is pressed into the ground. So that's one metric, is how quickly do you recover after effort? Does your heart rate drop quicker? Okay, that's one metric. The other metric is, what is your resting heart rate? So if you have a Fitbit or an Apple Watch, like a Garmin, you can easily measure that, what I would recommend, and you're not going to know, so bring your head up for these ones. This is our leg lifts. You're not going to necessarily know what it was, right? Unless you happen to look at that data in the past, which maybe you didn't. But you can start now. So you can take a look at your resting heart rate, which is the best time to take your resting heart rate is first thing in the morning. You want to try to relax, and just document that number each day, right? So if you write down that number each day, it can actually be telling, because there's something called heart rate variability that you can track. So let's say your resting heart rate in the morning is 60, okay? If your resting heart rate is 60, and then one day you wake up and it's like 70, right? Something's up. Something's not right. So there's a number of things. When you're sick or getting sick, your heart rate will be up, your resting heart rate will be up. If you are overtraining, like you're working too hard, you're putting in too much exercise, maybe under eating, that's a whole nother topic, and I'll talk about that another day. But I had this epiphany when it comes to that yesterday. Ladies, we need to eat. Please do not try to exist on 1,000 to 1,200 calories a day. We need to eat. It's so important on so many levels. I'll save that topic for another day. But too many of us, and I was guilty of this recently, because I'm working out really hard, I'm doing all this activity, and I'm wanting to restrict my calories so I can get my results as fast as possible. And that is literally a recipe for disaster. First of all, it affects your energy, right? And then your energy affects your mood and level of motivation. So when you notice that you're lacking in motivation and lacking in energy, like the energy to fuel the desire to do anything, often that can be linked back to diet. I shouldn't say often, it can be linked back to diet. And the other thing is a recipe for disaster for getting injured or depleted, like low iron, just depleting. Like your body doesn't have the resources to recover from your workouts, and you want to go out and do a workout the next day, right? You want to move, you want to be active and have that healthy lifestyle. And I don't even remember what I was babbling about before that, but I think, your heart rate. So if your heart rate's up high, and you're not recovering well, it will be higher. And then the third thing is our menstrual cycles. So your heart rate might be up during a couple times of the month. I think that's it. During your menstrual or just before your menstrual cycle, or when you're ovulating. So again, it's just a sign. So it can be, that data can be used for whatever you want to use it for, but it's interesting. But it was a huge win for me yesterday, and I could feel that was the case, but
activity
it was
completed.
interesting to see the actual data. Okay, so we're going to do our squats. Okay, so 10 squats. We're almost done. We're doing our grand slam. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's our 10 squats. We've done our core. We need to do our glute bridges. Okay, let's do those next. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure your heels are in. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We need to do our boat. Okay, so we're gonna hold. I'm gonna challenge myself today. I have the ball. Okay, boat with ball. Okay, so This timer is set for 20 seconds. We need to go hold it through. So if you have a ball and you're doing a squeeze, the ball, that's gonna activate your inner thighs, give them a little bit of extra work. The buzzer's out to go, keep holding it. We have 10 more seconds, so holding it for 10 more seconds. Nice, long, straight legs. Squeezing that ball. If you don't have a ball, you don't have to use the ball for this. It's just as hard without the ball, okay? So now we're gonna hold plank. Again, I'm gonna use the ball. So going, whew. Okay, holding plank. To make it harder, you can move the ball out in front of you a little further. To make it easier, bring it in. Or don't use the ball. If you're not ready, if you're a beginner, if you're just starting, again, holding it through the buzzer, it's about to go. We have 10 more seconds. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. Okay, did we get everything? We got our core, plank, squats. I can't think right now. Push-ups, burpees, jumping jacks, boat, and glute bridges. All right, way to go. Thanks for joining me. See you tomorrow. High five, congratulations. That was a tough one. See you guys tomorrow.